Okay, saya tak cerita kat you all. I want to nak bagi tahu dekat yang online ni. Okay, so students who are still not able to come to Malaysia, so I hope you can come to Malaysia as early as possible, because we have problem with the internet and so on, so quite difficult for me. Okay, so kelas bertukar kejap sana kejap sini. Okay, so I hope you can process documentation and so on and come to Malaysia as soon as possible. Because the second test will be on week 14, right? So that one will be in physical form. So I hope before that you can come to Malaysia.
Doctor, we're trying, inshallah.
So actually I'm planning to finish up this DC motor drive. Itulah mungkin tak sempat kot. So we continue. Everything facilities semua dah downgrade I don't know why UTM teruk lah. Okay, so DC drive using choppers. So okay, so before this we have discussed about the use of rectifiers to control the speed and the torque of the DC motor. Okay, so right now we will discuss on how to use the DC-DC converters. Okay, especially the buck, so usually the buck converters lah, to drive and to control the speed of the motor. Okay, I think this one I have already explained to you on the conventional part of the how we control the speed and also the torque of the DC motor. So this is the conventional way, okay, where as you can see from AC source, we are using AC motor and then couple using a drive shaft here and then connected to a DC generator to produce a variable DC here. Okay, but for the current trend right now, we are using the power electronics. So it depends on the input of your AC, the input, whether it is AC source or DC source. Okay, so if your load is a DC motor and your source is AC, so you need to use rectifiers. Okay, but if your source is DC source, then you need to use DC-DC converters. Ini saya ada cerita ke pasal aircon? Tak cerita You know the difference between the inverters aircon converter, aircon based on the conventional punya ni, dan aircon controlled by power electronics yang you ada inverters, aircon inverter. Kan ada tulis tu inverter. Ada kan? Tak apalah, yang ni saya cerita nanti dalam AC motor nanti. Okay, this is actually one type of application where you are using power electronics here, power electronic converters, where we control the speed and also the torque of the motor. So this motor is actually your compressor lah. Okay, compressor where rotation will compress the air and then it will actually make your air cool. Okay. And then the quadrant of operation. So I hope you can recall the quadrant of operation of the DC motors. Okay, we have 4 quadrants. So the DC motor can operate in all quadrants. Okay, but the limitation is on the drive system that you use. Okay, not all drive can actually operated under all quadrants. So some of the circuit or system drive can only operate in 1 quadrant, 2 quadrant, or maybe can actually operated in all 4 quadrants. Okay, and then the quadrant of operation of the DC of the drive system is defined by the speed and also the torque. That is the only 2 parameters lah that we want to control mechanical output. Because motor is actually a mechanical, convert from electrical into a mechanical. So in the mechanical parameters, the speed and the torque That are the only parameters that we will control. Okay. So quadrant of operation. So we usually divide it into 4 quadrants. So based on the speed and also the torque. So for positive torque and positive speed, what is the name of the quadrant? Yalah, first lah. Forward motoring. You are going forward. So you drive a car, you going forward, and then you tekan minyak kan? So forward motoring lah. Okay, so both are positive. And then the next quadrant. Yang sebelah sini. The speed is positive, but the torque is negative. Speed positive, but torque is negative. Forward braking. So you are going forward, but you push a brake kan? So forward braking. Okay, so forward motoring. The second quadrant here is forward braking. And yang bawah ni, the lower part, the speed is negative. And the torque is also negative. Okay, reverse motoring. Dalam. Oh. Tak apa. Ada VGA ni. Tak, yang ni memang ada VGA, yang sebelah tak ada. Sebelah tak ada. Dia HDMI. Tak apalah. Dia ada. Okey. And the last one is which is reverse braking. Okay. So the quadrant of operation is defined by the speed and the torque of the motor. And most rotating electrical machine can operate in 4 quadrants. Okay. So ni most. Okay. Semuanya, I think all electrical machine can operate in 4 quadrants, but not all converters. Okay, not all converters can operate in 4 quadrants, meaning that this is a power electronics circuit. It depends on your circuit. Okay, so for a power converters, so this one is your DC motors, and this one is your power converters. So for this converter to be operated, to be able to operate in 4 quadrants, maknanya you want your motor to operate in 4 quadrants. Okay, you need to make sure that your power converters can be operated in all quadrants. Okay, so meaning that your power converters must able to supply apa dia? Kita tahu this one is related, the voltage armature is related to the speed of the motor. And then the IA, the armature current, is proportional with the torque. So this speed can be positive and negative. Also for the torque, positive and negative. So meaning that for the motor to be operated in all quadrants, maknanya this one is your speed, this one is your torque. So positive, this one positive, negative, this one negative, and then this one negative, positive, negative, right? So meaning that what? Macam mana we want this motor to operate in all quadrants? Meaning that your voltage must be positive, negative, and your current must be also positive and negative. So to get this positive and negative, so meaning that your power converters must be able to produce positive and negative voltage, armature, and current, positive and negative current. So these power converters must be able to do so. Okay. So actually the condition for the quadrant is depends on the power electronics converters. So yang ni saya dia relatekan lah This one. So we already know yang you punya converters, for your punya motors, you have RA, and we can actually neglect the LA because in steady state, LA it's short circuit. Betul? Patutnya you punya ni ada LA. And then ada back EMF. EA Ini you punya motor This is the model of your motor. So yang ini, this one is your IA. But in steady state, where there is no change of speed, there is no change of current and voltage and so on, we can reduce this model to have only RA and EA only, right? LA is we ignore, okay, because voltage drop kosong. Okay, boleh. Okay, so VA, to get VA positive and negative, okay, it depends on the control here. Either you control the duty cycles and so on, right? The problem usually the student confused is how to obtain positive IA and negative IA. Positive meaning that the current is flowing from the source to the load. So I think that's one, no problem, right? But how to get IA negative, meaning that IA negative meaning that the current is supplying from the load back to the source. How to get the IA negative? To get the IA negative, your A must be greater from the voltage supply. Logik kan? Kalau you punya E, sebab the current will flow from the high voltage into lower polarity of the voltage, right? So in order for the current to be negative, your your EA must be greater than VA. Okay? So that is what this slide explain. Okay? So for example, the current positive VA is greater than EA. For this one, IA is negative. It's flowing from the motor, go back to the supply. So as you can see, the current is negative. In order to do so, the EA here must be greater than the voltage source. Sorry, not voltage source, V armature. Okay. So this one forward motoring. This one is forward braking. Make sure that you spell it correctly. Jangan kan ada dalam ujian braking. Ada. Jangan gelak. Memang ada. Tengah kalut-kalut tu mesti ada. Okay. Forward braking. So forward braking, as you can see, the current is going back to the source. So this one, if you dig down for the electric vehicle system ataupun hybrid, kereta hybrid car, they are a function what they call regenerative braking, kan? Regenerative braking. Okay, so regenerative braking is actually same. It's actually referring to the same quadrant, which is forward braking. Regenerative braking in hybrid car meaning that from the car it generate back power or energy back to the battery. So same like this punya quadrant lah. So meaning that as you can see the current is going flow from the load to the source, meaning that it's charging back. Okay. So macam mana nak charging tu maksudnya? Maksudnya macam mana? Dia tengah charging. Maknanya you tekan brake. Masa kalau for the electric vehicle tu ataupun hybrid tu, masa you selalunya bila you turun bukit, you tekan brake. You tekan brake maknanya dia dalam keadaan forward braking. Jalan ke depan, but you tekan brake. Forward braking. Masa itulah dia akan charge. Betul tak? Kereta hybrid. Masa you, kalau you ada kereta hybrid lah. Ataupun you got your family member that have a hybrid car, you will see that the meters, kalau you drive, meters, when you turun ke bawah, you push a brake, pedal brake, you will see that the punya mode is actually going back to regenerative braking. Ada tulis indicator regenerative braking, meaning that from your brake pedal tu you actually produce or supply energy back to the battery. Okay, tapi tak bermaksud you totally tak perlu charge you punya kereta lepas tu. Dia sikit-sikit je. Current pun is actually very minimum current. Bukannya besar current dia. Okay. So, okay, this is the model of your DC motor. So, we are still using a separately excited DC motor. So this is apa dia? Circuit apa ni? Armature circuit. This one kat mana Kalau inside the DC motor tu, armature circuit is actually at the which part? Kita ada stator and rotor kan? Which part? At the DC motor. We have stator and also rotor. Stator tu yang fix. Rotor tu yang berpusing kan? Which part ni? This one dekat rotor And then lagi satu field circuit. Field circuit ni dekat stator. Okay? So what is the function of this field circuit? What is the function of this field circuit? Field circuit ni dekat stator. What is the function Kan? Apa function dia? Rotor dia lah, rotor kan? Field circuit ni, function dia apa? What is the function of the field circuit? Ini dia punya ni. Stator. What is the function of field circuit? Oh, payah saya. What is the function of field circuit? Armature circuit is the main circuit. Field circuit ni what is the function? Function of field circuit. Ni maksudnya 3 kali belajar ni. The first one masa fundamental power, tapi saya tahu yang tu memang kadang-kadang lecturer pun tak sempat nak ajar sangat. And then during rectifier, right, rectifier. Then yang ni, so dah 3 kali. What is the function of field circuit? What is the function of field circuit Guna untuk apa? Tapi actually for field circuit, if the field circuit is not available, so actually your motor also cannot run. Apa function? What is the function of field circuit? Siapa tahu angkat tangan? Produce? Produce? Yeah, produce magnetic field. Flux. Kan saya pernah cakap, I have told you that this field circuit, which is dia nak produce IF, because the main is actually to produce IF, because IF, when you have IF, so you will have flux. Flux dekat stator. Ni stator ni. Yang tengah-tengah air dalam rotor. So stator. Okay. Because you punya stator besi kan. Dia bukan magnet. So you need to magnetize the steel. The core tu you nak kena magnetize. So bila nak magnetize kita pakai electromagnetic theory. Baru kita you belajar electromagnetism. How you want to create magnet. Macam contohnya satu alat besi bukan magnet. You want to create dia jadi magnet. Dia boleh menarik benda-benda lain. Macam mana? Pakai elektrik. Kita supply and then kita pakai wire, kita lilit-lilit kabel kan. Lepas tu kita sambungkan current, dia jadi magnet. That is electromagnetic. How we create magnet using electrical. Right? There is one type of motor, kita panggil dia apa permanent magnet. Permanent magnet DC motor ataupun PMDC. Sometimes you will heard this one, PMDC. Permanent magnet, dia tak ada ni. Dia tak ada field circuit because dia punya core, dia punya stator tu adalah magnet. Tapi berat because magnet. Memang dia punya density dia, volume dia is very, orang kata apa, memang bulky dan besar. Dan selalunya tak sesuai untuk yang macam motor tu kecil-kecil tu, tak sesuai lah, berat. Jadi berat. Kalau untuk macam traktor okey lah nak guna, nak jadikan electric vehicle punya tu kan pakai magnet, boleh. Sebab kereta tu sendiri dah berat kan. Okay. If you are being given permanent magnet, you will not have this IF or field circuit. Because the field circuit is used to produce flux. Kenapa perlu produce flux? Because your stator is not magnet. The main concept is actually how to actually make your stator ni magnet. Kalau your punya stator is already magnet, so no need field circuit. Okay? As you can see here, the torque is produced due to the interaction between the flux, which is produced by the stator, which is from the flux. Okay, with the armature circuit or the rotor. So the interaction between this will produce torque. So that's why I said to you that if you don't have flux, then you cannot produce torque. Kan? Kalau permanent magnet tak ada masalah sebab dia memang magnet. So dia memang dah ada flux. Okay? And then the voltage back EMF, this one is actually bukannya bila you buka motor tu you ada voltage source dalam tu, tak ada. Bukan ada bateri That one inside that, there is no inside, tak ada bateri. Tiba-tiba you buka ada pula bateri everready level A. Okay? Bukan. It's actually the model that actually the voltage, this one is actually an induced voltage. Induced voltage due to the speed of the motor. So when you increase the speed, proportionally the voltage induced is also increased. Okay. This one you kena ingat armature circuit punya equation, which is a Kirchhoff voltage law. Okay, and then this one. But for steady state, we can ignore the inductor lah because this one voltage drop kan. VL is 0, okay? Because there is no change of current. The IDT is 0, right? Tak ada change, dia steady je. Okay? Maknanya current dia steady state, tak ada tukar-tukar. So if there is no change, then 0 lah. Okay? And for this also, the field circuit is also 0 lah. So maknanya for your field circuit is only ada RF only. Okay? Dan for your armature circuit ada RA only. Dan juga back EMF. Okay, that's why yang saya draw tadi tu, this one, yang simplified Bila you steady state, there is no inductor here. Okay. Ada soalan? Any question? Tu yang kata ni, this one. If the field flux come from the permanent magnet, kan? The motor is called permanent magnet DC motor. You punya stator tu is actually a permanent magnet. Okay, so for permanent magnet DC motor, the field current cannot be controlled. Memang tak boleh control lah. Sebab flux tu memang dah magnet. Kita boleh control flux. We can control the flux when you electromagnetize that stator kan. Then you control the current, you boleh control the flux. But right now, the stator itself is a permanent magnet. Which is, dah memang magnet, you tak boleh control pun. That's why, for permanent magnet, you cannot control the field current. Sorry, memang field current tak ada pun. Memang tak ada. Memang tak ada circuit pun. Sebab you are using field circuit to magnetize kan. Tapi dalam permanent magnet memang tak ada. Okay. Dan this is dia punya equation lah. Sepatutnya, okay. Yang ini untuk permanent magnet Yang ni is actually for permanent magnet Permanent magnet. Jangan kita keliru Don't be confused. This one permanent magnet punya equation. Because flux tu you can control, so we ni lah. So for the separately excited DC motor, so this is actually the equation. Okay. Sebab ada flux kat sini And usually, okay, as you can see, we have KT and KE So usually KT and KE is same, sama. Kadang-kadang kita panggil K saja. Sebab dia selalunya nilai dia punya value is almost the same. Okay. So nanti janganlah diujian kalau dalam in test or final exam, dia bagi KT saja. He give you only the value of KT. He didn't give you the value of KE. So you should know that that one is also your KE. Oh, baru nak masuk. Okay. So speed control using power converters. Okay. So this one is your DC to DC converters. Okay. And then this one is your motor. Okay. And this one is your VA. And then this is your IA. Okay. So we know that VA is proportional with the speed, right? It's proportional with the speed. So meaning that if you want to increase or reduce the speed, you need to either increase or reduce the V armature. Okay. So this one is your duty cycle. You control the duty cycle and then this is your V source. Okay. So right now your VA is your V output. Which is if you are using this one, the buck converters, so usually buck converters we only use buck converters. So which is the source. Okay, that is how we vary the VA, which is you control the duty cycle. Itu saja. Senang je. Okay. And what about the IA? IA, what about IA? So tadi kita dah tengok bahawa dia punya VA is the V source. Right? And then saya draw balik lah So this one is your DC to DC converters. This one is your RA. This one is your EA Okay. So from here, boleh tak you carikan saya what is your IA? What is your equation IA sini? From this circuit. VA, ada VA, ada RA, ada IA and then ada EA. Dapatkan equation untuk dapatkan or calculate the IA. Ni DC This one is actually DC circuit. Semua ni DC circuit. VA is DC, IA is also DC. Because we consider inside this motor, the inductor is very, very large. Omega L. Omega LA is very, very large compared to armature resistance. Kan? What is the effect when your punya inductor is larger than your RA? Dalam rectifier dah belajar. Apa kesan when your inductor is very, very large? Okay, contohnya lah ni, you punya circuit ni, you ada R, you ada L kan? Kalau you punya omega L ni is very, very large compared to R, apa? What is the bentuk current dia? Bentuk current dia, apa dia? Yelah, CCM. Current akan jadi DC current. DC current. That is the kesan. When you punya omega L is very, very large compared to your resistance, the IA here is almost DC current. It's almost DC current. Okay. Apa-apa load lah. Contohnya lah, you ada RL so kalau saya punya RL ni macam ni, contohnya saya punya R is 10 ohm and then my inductor is also J 10 ohm your current will be like this. Maybe like this. Still CCM, but not pure DC. Still CCM, ada ripple. Right? Yang ni CCM. But when you increase your omega L further, for example, J1000 ohm, which is very, very high.